Shit, it's at the time. Well, hello and welcome back to the Monkeywood Garage, our second episode and the first in a series of camping related content. Probably more specific to motorbike camping, but the items I'll be going through will be suitable for traditional camping in your car, possibly a bit of wild camping, because generally speaking, when you kit out your gear for a bike, pack size and weight is the two most essential things. So that's really what I've focused on over the last sort of 12 months as I've been building up the camping equipment, going out, trying it, seeing what it's like. So I guess I've been through that pain, so you don't have to go through it. So I'm going to kick off with a list of my top 20 essential motorbike camping pieces of equipment. So let's get started. Now, as I just mentioned, I'm going to go through 20 pieces of equipment. I'm going to do it in order of importance. I'll put information on the bottom of the video on each item, and I'll put links in the description should you want to purchase the item. But without doubt, the most important piece of equipment for motorbike camping is a side stand puck. Now, when you get to the campsite and you try and park your bike up on grassy field, there's a good chance your side stand's going to dig into the ground and your bike's just going to capsize. So by putting one of these under the side stand with the additional surface area, the side stand just locks in this place here. That stops your bike from disappearing into the soil. Now, I have used this when it was torrential rain all night and the bike never budged. So I highly recommend getting one of these. So now you've got your bike parked up. Quite clearly, the next piece of equipment that you're going to need is your tent. So what I went for is a Scafell 300 Plus, which is by Vango. The beauty of this tent is the sleeping accommodation area is huge. There's a segregated area where you can put your chair, your cooking stove, and all your bike gear, your helmet, all out of the rain. So this tent really is perfect. Probably wouldn't recommend 3 men in it, but you definitely get away with 2. But the beauty of this is, as you can see, is the small pack size, and it only weighs 3.5 kilograms. So the third item on my list is an Exped air mat bed. Now, as you can see, the pack size of this is absolutely tiny, weighs about 500 grams, and it's comfortable enough for the average adult. I mean, I'm about 5'8", and I have no problems whatsoever sleeping on that. It stays up all night, and the beauty of this is it's a manual pump system. So basically you go like that with the palm of your hand, pump it up. Takes a couple of minutes maybe, but it does stay up all night. So I definitely highly recommend an Exped airbed. So you've got your bike parked up, you've got your tent up, you've got your airbed down. The next most essential piece of equipment, which is number 4 on my list, is your sleeping bag. Now, the sleeping bag is probably one of the hardest things to get right, because you can get something like this, which is a Lixada Amazon special. As you can see, pack size is fantastic, weighs about 300 grams. It's apparently 3 season, but I don't think I'd use this probably below 5 degrees. But the big draw for this is the pack size, because when you compare this to another sleeping bag, this is the difference. So this is a 4-season sleeping bag, and it's fantastic, keeps you warm in all conditions. But packing that on a bike, that takes up a huge amount of space. So really, you've got to factor in what temperature you're going to camp in. If you're a fair weather camper, like I am mostly, this is the kind of thing you want. So number 5 on the list is this Hikenture ultralight inflatable pillow. Again, pack size is absolutely minute. Manually blow it up and it keeps pressure all night, no issues whatsoever, incredibly cheap, highly recommend this. Now number 6 on the list is this Bib Hammer Multitool. I've actually misplaced it, can't find it anywhere, I'll turn up eventually. But this was ideal for knocking in the tent pegs. It's also got a bottle opener, a knife on it, flathead screwdriver, pliers, you name it. So for the size and price, another great bit of kit. Number 7 on the list is this Blukar LED torch. USB chargeable, incredibly light, incredibly bright, great bit of kit for those midnight toilet runs or whatever it might be. Definitely need a torch. Highly recommend this one. Number 9 on the list is the gas stove. Now there's lots of discussions on which one's the best, which brand you should go for, loads of different discussions on the topic. But what I found is this FireMeable one, which is, I would say, medium priced on the scale. Fantastic bit of kit, used several times, never let us down, easy to set up, and as you can see, reasonably small pack size and only weighs about 600 grams. So I'll quickly show you what this looks like when it's set up. So there you go, that's what it looks like when it's set up. You can control the flame, so how high or low you want it, so if you want to simmer your food. What I tend to do is just cook the food inside the main pot and eat it straight out of there. And it's easy to clean. I think that works incredibly well, especially for the price. So yeah, recommend FireMeable cooking stove. So number 9 on the list is a Primus gas canister. So these work great with the FireMeable stoves. You can pack one in the actual packing container of the FireMeable stove, but it's always handy to carry a spare. So yeah, recommend you have a spare one of these, should you need it for your coffee in the morning. So number 10 on the list is a windshield for the gas stove. So there's nothing worse, you get your campsite set up, you get your stove set up, and the wind keeps knocking out the flames. So something such as this comes in extremely handy. As you can see, it just folds out. You can push it down into the ground with the castellations on the bottom, and it wraps nicely around your stove, keeping it lit in all conditions. Definitely well worth it. So item number 11 on the list is this titanium FireMeable mug. Foldable handles, ideal for your morning coffee. So you can use that while you're cooking your food on the FireMeable stove. Yeah, pretty good bit of kit. And number 12, FireMeable again, is a non-stick stainless frying pan. As you can see, it's got another foldable handle, and that as well can sit on top of the FireMeable stove. So you can take the big mug off, put that on top, and have your fried breakfast. Job's a good one. So item number 13 should perhaps be higher up the list, because I think use of these is sometimes forgotten about when you're putting up all your gear on your bike. So what I've got here is a Trekology chair. Again, pack size very small, weight very light. Unfold the legs, which I shall demonstrate in some fashion here. And there you have it. There's your chair. So again, sensible bit of kit, especially when you want to keep your ass off the floor. So number 14, you've got your chair set up, you've got your stove, you've got your tent, you've got all your sleeping equipment. Next thing you're going to want to need is a table. Again from Trekology. Small pack size, lightweight, easy to set up, as I shall attempt to demonstrate. So with this, it's not the highest table in the world, but what it does do, it gives you a surface to cook on, off the floor. Just makes life a lot easier. And there we have it. Sturdy and ideal for your bits and pieces. So item 15 on the list is something a lot of people forget about, and that's a ground sheet. So this particular one is a Hikeman, just under 1 metre by 2 metres, and it just gives you an area, a clean area, should it be rainy, muddy, whatever it might be, where you can put your stuff down on the floor. So again, something people generally don't think of, but very handy to have. And I tend to use this when I'm packing everything away. I'll kind of line up on side this ground sheet, and this will be the last thing that I pack. So yeah, very handy. So item number 16 on the list is a power bank. So this particular brand, after doing my research, I found was the best from price and performance. And I think it reads in IU, something like that. But it's 20,000 milliohms, and it's advertised as charging your typical phone, so an S23, about 3.5 times. But I found with my phone plugged into this, and various torches recharging, it easily lasted 24 hours. So highly recommend one of these. And this one is slightly heavier than maybe the average battery pack. But for the functionality, for example, it tells you how much charge it's got left. It's got USB-C, great bit of kit. So number 17 on the list is a 3-piece Cuddle Reset. Again, it's another Amazon special, but very lightweight. Again, small pack size. You get your knife, your fork, your spoon. What more could you want? But again, people tend to forget some of the basics, such as items like these, which is why it's number 17 on the list. So number 18 on the list is a Blukar, I think the brand is, hanging light. So basically, it's got a little hanger on the back. It's hanging up in the middle of your tent. And it's got various settings. So you've got your bright light, and you can go down to softer light. Which, to be honest, when you're fumbling about in the middle of the night, it's kind of ideal having something like that to hand. So I always recommend you've got hanging light in your tent in addition to your torch. So item 19 on the list is a dry bag for your clothes. What I tend to do is just have some waterproof trousers and jacket, spare pants and socks, whatever it might be. Just roll them all up, fit them in a little bag. Essential. Which brings us to the last item on the list, which is 20, and it is basically just a bag for all your toiletries. So you've got your towel, your deodorants, toothbrush, whatever it is you feel like you want to take. Just keeps everything handy in nice bags. You can go off to the shower room or wherever it might be, sort your shit out. So there you have it. That's my top 20 list of essential items for camping. Obviously, mostly motorbike camping, but it will work for other styles of camping. But just remember, this is not an exhaustive list. It's not every single item you might need to go camping. But at least in my opinion, it is the 20 essential items that you need to make this comfortable as possible. But I hope it's been informative. I hope there's been items in here that you've maybe thought, I've completely forgot about that, and it provides some sort of help. If you want any more detailed information on any of the items, let us know. I can always do a more in-depth video. And in the meantime, if you've got any feedback, comments, give us a shout. Cheers.